Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. MX Linux. Today they released a new ISO with upgrades, new features, and updates. So I'm going to take a look at it. I'm now at the MX Linux website. I'm going to scan down, and here it is here. MX-23 Librito now available. Now, for some reason, I think I'm not pronouncing it right, but hey, what can I say? It was released today, July 31st, 2023. Let's read a little bit more about it. So we go here, and we can just scan down. So, MX-23 Librito now available, July 31st, 2023. And it's available with 3 different desktop environments. It's available with Xfce, KDE, and Fluxbox. And Fluxbox is really a window manager and not a desktop environment, but hey, what can I say? And again, they're just telling you it's available in the 3 flavors. And they've updated MX Tweak. They've updated the updater. All releases now use Pipewire instead of Pulse Audio. And I think it was like that in the last version as well. Uncomplicated Firewall is enabled by default. Now that amazes me, and I'm really impressed with that. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up, because some Linux distributions don't even have Uncomplicated Firewall installed by default. And the ones that do have it installed by default, it's turned off. So you have to know that it's there. You have to be aware of it, and you have to know that it's turned off by default, and you have to know where to go and turn it on, which a new user to Linux may not know. So I like this. Not only is it installed by default, it's turned on by default. So like I said, that's a thumbs up. Anyways, that's not too much information here about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the Xfce one. So what you do is, if that's the one you want, you click on here and download it. Now, I'm not going to download it because I've already downloaded the ISO, and it only took, the ISO is 2 gigabytes, and it took about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to download it, not too long. And of course, if you want the KDE one, you would click on this, or Fluxbox, you'd click on this. So now I'm going to create a virtual machine. I'm going to log on to the live ISO, and I'm going to walk you through an install, and I'm going to take a quick look at the installed system. So I created a virtual machine, and I've logged on to the live ISO. And one of the first things I'm going to do is fix the resolution. And I'm going to change this to, and of course I'm only doing this because it's a virtual machine. If you're doing this on bare metal, you wouldn't have to do this. Let's apply it. There we go. Keep the configuration and close. And I really like to mention that I do like this wallpaper. It's a nice dark theme, and well, what can I say? So I'm not going to go through a tour right now. I'm not going to play with the system. I'm just going to go through and install. So let's click on here. We're going to click on the installer, and we're going to go through an installation. Now, the last time I installed MX Linux, which was many months ago, it might have been early this year or late last year, the installation went really fast. So I'm going to click on, and let's just, oh, my face is going to block it if I do it that way. Sometimes when I do these things, my face blocks what I'm doing. So let's click on next. Use 20 gigabyte drive? Yes. Do I want to encrypt it? Sure, why not? Let's do an encryption. Encryption password. I'm going to type it in. Confirm it. I'm just doing a simple password because this is a video and it's for a virtual machine. Okay to format and use the entire disk? Yes. Now it's asking for a computer name. Let's call it MX. July 23. Let's leave the computer domain blank, work group blank. And I don't need Samba. Let's click on next. Locale. Do we have Canada in here? Canada. Oh, here it is. Canadian English. Time zone. America, New York is good enough for me because that's the time zone I'm in. System uses local time? Sure. Do we want to format it this way, 24-hour time or AM PM time? I'm going to leave it on AM PM time. Next. Default user login name. So we're going to type in Mensch. I'm going to give Mensch a password. I'm going to confirm it. And root administrator account. I'm going to click on, and I'm going to give root a password. And I'm just doing a simple password because it's a virtual machine and it's a video. So we're giving root a password. Auto login? No, I'm going to leave it blank. Save live desktop changes? Yes. Now I only made one change on the live ISO, and that was I changed the resolution. And like I said, you only have to change the resolution for virtual machines. So it's going to save that. And if you made any other changes on your live ISO and you click this on, it's going to save it when you log into your brand new system. So I'm going to click next. And it's 93% done. And I must say that MX Linux has the fastest installer in all of the Linux world, I think. And that's one of the things I really like about MX Linux. I love the fact that it's based on Debian. And I love the fact that their installation, well, their installer is really simple and easy to use, and it's very fast. I think it's faster than Linux Mint or Manjaro. I think it is one of the fastest installations available in the Linux world. And we're at 97% already. So this is, I'm really impressed. Now I think I'm just going to pause it for a moment because I don't want the video to be too long. And I really didn't have to pause it because a couple seconds, maybe like 30 seconds after I paused it, if that, the installation was completed. So I've clicked on automatically reboot the system when the installer is closed. Let's finish. And it's rebooting. Man, that installation was really fast. I think that the what's this? Please remove the disk and close the tray. Okay. Now, during the installation, we encrypted the disk. And I highly recommend, whatever Linux distribution you're using, that you should encrypt your disk. And if your computer gets stolen, or if someone gets into your house or apartment, if it's encrypted, they will not be able to access your information. The only thing they'll be able to do is wipe out the system and create a new installation. They can format your disk, but they won't be able to access your disk. And if the disk is not encrypted, I can log into your system with a live ISO and hack your system. Anyways, that's besides the point. This install was quick, easy, and fast, and it's encrypted. So let's put in our encryption password. And another thing before I do that, you could have 3 passwords for your system. You could have an encryption password, a different password for your user, a different password for root, and then if you want to give your spouse or your children passwords, they could have their own passwords as well. But ideally, you should have at least 3 passwords: encryption, root, and your user. I'm putting my encryption password in, and I'm going to hit enter. And it's de-encrypting or unencrypting my system. And now it's going to bring us to the login manager. And now we're at the login manager. So I'm going to type in my user password. And let's see if it saved. And it did. My display settings were saved. So any other changes you would have made in the system, it would have saved them. Now this is the welcome menu. It's here for new users to look at and see what it's about. And by default, it's turned off, which I like. So the next time we boot up, it's not going to show up. And if you want it to show up, you can click this on. I'm just going to close it. So I think it's a really beautiful system. Has Firefox installed by default. Here's our file manager. Let's make it large screen. Let's do an Htop. Let's see if Htop is installed. Let's just type in here, Htop. Oh, it is. Great. Oh, can hardly see anything. Oh, they got this bleed through. Let's go into, now you're going to have to forgive me because this is the Xfce desktop environment, which I've used before, but I've never lived in it. So, the first thing I'm going to do is, because this bar on the side is really bothering me, I'm going to go into MX Tools. And I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go into Tweak. Let's click on Tweak. And what I'm going to do is, if I make it full screen, I just want to make sure my face is not blocking anything. So here it is. The panel is set to display vertically, and that's why it's on the side. I'm going to change it to horizontally and leave it at the bottom. Now, if you want it on the top, you could put it on the top, but I like it at the bottom. And then I'm going to hit apply. Let's apply it. And there we are. And let's close it. There we go. Now we have it at the bottom. That's the way I like things. So I'm just going to move my face back down a bit. And what I'm going to do is, let's see if the firewall is turned on by default. Firewall. Let's hit enter. It's going to ask for the password. And there we are. Uncomplicated Firewall is installed and turned on by default. I like that. So of course we have volume controls here. We have our clock here. We have a logout here. We can log out, restart, shut down, suspend. This is the Xfce. Now let's go to a terminal. Let's go to the Xfce terminal. And what I'm going to do is go into preferences. And I'm not that familiar with the Xfce terminal, so please bear with me. Let's go to appearance and transparent background. I'm just going to turn that off. I hate transparency. I hate that bleed through. And let's go to, let's see if we can change the text. Let's make it a bold, and let's crank up the size. Ah, that's better. So this is the Xfce terminal that comes with MX Linux. And of course, you can install any terminal you want. You don't have to keep this terminal. And right now it's running Bash, and you can install Xfce and use it. So let's close this. Let's do Htop. And it's running at 691 megabytes of RAM. I think that's a little bit high for Xfce. So of course we have Firefox installed, and that's Firefox. Let's close it. We have Conky here. It's telling you the CPU is right here. It's telling you how much CPU usage you have, how much RAM we're using, and our hard drive percentage. And of course the clock. If you don't like the Conky, you can Conky toggle. You can toggle it on or off. Now it's off. You can go back and toggle it back on. And of course, also with the Xfce, you can right click into your applications as well. You have Office, it has LibreOffice is installed. Your internet is Firefox. Your file manager is Thunar. Now let's go to the package manager. So here's your package manager, and put the password in. And MX Linux has a nice package management. So you can do a search for programs, or you can go by category. So we can look at browsers. They have Brave browser available, LibreWolf, and let's click on LibreWolf and Brave browser. They also have desktop environments. We can install Budgie, GNOME, Mate, and let's see what else. They have all kinds of stuff. Kernels, you can change your kernel. What's in miscellaneous? They have KeyPass, Wine. I don't like Wine, but it's up to you if you want to use it. And Office. Oh, they have lots of Office programs. They have only Office available. Let's install only Office. LibreOffice is already installed. And they have all different types of category here. Let's see window managers. All they have is ICE, WM, and Fluxbox. But I'm going to install the awesome window manager in the terminal. But first, let's install these programs that I clicked on. So let's install. Respond here or just press enter. Okay, let's just do enter. And it's installing those programs. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when the installation of those apps are completed. Don't go away, I'll be right back. So now a menu has come up. The following package was selected. Click show details for a list of changes. Well, no, let's just click OK. And the installation is taking place. Their package manager is kind of nice. I like it. I like the way it's set up. It's easy to use. I love the fact that this system's built on Debian, strong and safe. Anyways, I'm going to pause it again while we go through this installation of some of these other apps. So now it's asking me if I want to install LibreWolf, and I'm going to click on OK. Oh, it says there was a problem detected while installing. Please inspect the console output. Okay. Oh, there was a problem with only Office. Couldn't install only Office. There was a problem with the release signing the key. Okay. So it looks like we're finished. Let's see if this thing worked. So of course, let's go to our Office programs first. And of course, we have LibreOffice. And of course, only Office wasn't installed because there was some type of a problem with their package manager or their key signing or something was wrong. That's not a good sign. And let's see, internet. We installed Brave browser. Let's click it on. And there is the Brave browser. Let's close that. Let's see if LibreWolf worked. Let's go to internet. Let's click on LibreWolf. Let's see if that opens. And now we're in well, I can't do that song anymore. So now we're in LibreWolf, which is a fork of Firefox, a hardened fork of Firefox. And that worked. So now what I'm going to do is open up a terminal. And I'm going to type in this command, sudo apt. Well, let's see if there's any updates to do. Put my password in. All packages are up to date. Let's clear the screen. Now I'm going to type in sudo apt install. So the awesome window manager isn't in their package manager, but I'm going to install it in the terminal because I know it's available in the Debian repo. So let's type in sudo apt install. Awesome. Hit enter. And it's only going to be another couple seconds. And then I'm going to log out and log into the Awesome Window Manager. So let's close this. Let's go to this green, and I just want to make sure my face is not hiding it. Let's go to this green and let's log out. Now we're going to go up to this middle thing up here, and I'm going to click on Awesome. I'm going to type in my password. So we see here we have the Awesome Window Manager, but it's by default. It doesn't have my configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit out of here, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to log back into Xfce, put my password in, and now we're back in the Xfce desktop environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the video, and I'm going to do another video in a few days, and I'm going to show how, if I was going to live in MX Linux, how I would change it. Change the Awesome Window Manager, put my own configuration in there, get Xterm and put my configuration in Xterm, install Xfce with my Xfce configuration file and make Xfce the default configuration. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do another video and do a post installation configuration of MX Linux to make it the way I would like it to be if I was going to live in it. So that was a quick look at the brand new MX Linux. I showed you how to install it, how to encrypt it, and I gave you a quick and short tour of it. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video with all the post-installation changes I would make if I was going to live in MX Linux and use it. So I'm going to install my configuration files for the Awesome Window Manager, for Xterm. I'm going to make Xfce, install Xfce with my configuration files and make it my default shell. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I am the Linux Mensch.